Hello everybody, this is Sabre Wolf, another Guild Wars 2 info update. This is episode number 15. The Q&A session of the Warrior and Traits was released this past week. Eric Flonham and Ben Miller were the point staff members from ArenaNet for more information, bonus info for that matter, about Warriors and Traits. But before I get to that, a little announcement for you all. Starting hopefully within the next week or two, myself and my friend Malkiar Devenhelm from Guildmag will be starting a podcast for you all to listen to. This will include Guild Wars 1 info, Guild Wars 2 info that I might have missed in some of these videos, some extra questions from you all about anything Guild Wars related or not Guild Wars related for that matter. This is basically an outlet for myself and Malkiar to basically speculate about mostly what Guild Wars 2 is doing and maybe get some ideas. These Guild Wars 2 info updates will continue in their full capacity. This is 100% info from ArenaNet, NCSoft, and other news sites. I do not make any speculations on these videos. However, this podcast that we're hopefully starting up will be an outlet for that, so you can all listen to my well-informed opinions. Now, we are still looking for a host site for these videos and for the podcast rather, and we are also still thinking of a name. So if you have a name for our podcast, please leave a comment below this video and maybe your name will be picked. So hope for that, alright? But enough about the little announcement here. Let's go head over to the info on Warriors and Traits. First off, the Warrior. I think the big news item of the week for Warriors was the info about the skill Gash. Eric Flonham noted that Gash will not cause deep wound, but in fact will cause bleeding, and that bleeding will actually stack, so Severed Artery and Gash will both cause stackable bleeding in that severed chain. The other note he made was that deep wound in general will not be in Guild Wars 2, so the key condition for so many axe builds in Guild Wars 1 will not make a return in Guild Wars 2. Also about the severed chain, as I mentioned before, if you personally break the chain by hitting a different skill, the chain will reset. Well, if you are interrupted or knocked down in the middle of the chain will reset back to the beginning. There was some concern from players that the skill On My Mark would be replacing the control action call feature from Guild Wars 1. This, in fact, will not replace that feature of calling or pinging, and it will remain in Guild Wars 2. Eric did say that on the On My Mark skill will just have the calling feature built into it, so think of it as a shortcut with the added benefits of the lower armor, right? That was really it for the Warrior Q&A, but there was a boatload of trait questions that were asked and answered since, well, it's a new feature in the Guild Wars world. First, Ben Miller said that Guild Wars 2 will have a generalized attribute system. Guild Wars 1 had a focused profession-only related attributes. Guild Wars 2 will have a generalized attributes that will cross multiple professions similar to other RPGs that are out there. And with that change, the trait system will partially replace the old attribute system further and will focus on individual customizations that the player may tinker with. Each trait will be dedicated and limited to a specific line. So sword traits will only be for swords and axe traits will only be for axes, so they won't cross lines with each other. Players will be able to equip dozens of traits on the character, but not all of them will be active at one time. This is because when the warrior is using axes and the secondary weapon of a mace and shield, the mace and shield traits will actually go inactive because, well, you're not using them. So after setting up the traits for your build, they will activate upon switching to those weapons that they belong to. There will also be a mix of major and minor traits to choose from. Major traits will have more powerful effects than minor traits will. Now, the big worry about the added trait system was that players will be too scared to play the Guild Wars 2 because it might be too complicated. And I personally have brought that topic up myself. Eric Flonham assured all players that they are making the game user-friendly for the casual player, so they are conscious of this fact. He further said that ANET is constantly working on the user interface to make sure it's easy to see and to find things, and they are going to introduce the advanced features in the game very slowly with a more robust help system. So there will be a gradual introduction to the new features and optional help windows to help all players, including you casual players out there. But after that good news, well, ANA did bring a little bit of bad news. Eric did know a current issue they are having with the development of the game in the area of build saving. Build saving, as I switch back to the Guild Wars 1 world, was probably one of the biggest features of the game, because it made it easy to switch builds and share them with others. Also in Guild Wars 1, you can only change your build in towns because the game was instance. In Guild Wars 2, however, you will have the ability to change your skills, traits, attributes, weapons, etc. anytime in the world as long as you're not already engaged in combat. That is the current issue. You can quickly change your build anytime with a couple of clicks or via a macro for us techie guys and girls that are out there. So ANA is currently looking for a way to make a system that saves your builds, making it user-friendly and quickly to switch, but not to the point where it gives the ability to players to quick switch their entire build constantly in and out of the middle of battles. One final note for you all is that ArenaNet is shooting for a teen rating on Guild Wars 2. They will do everything in their power and ability to keep it at a T for teen rating. There will not be any blood in the form of gore in the game, but there will be some red waves or sparkles. So again, Guild Wars 2, they're shooting for a T for teen rating on that game. Well, I'll wrap it up for these videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That's the green box above my head. Also, don't forget to possibly pick out a name for that podcast I mentioned at the beginning of the video of myself and Malkier Devenhelm from Guildmag. If you want to talk to me in-game, you can talk to me under Komori Inu or Kanu Kame anytime you want. Well, if I don't answer back, that just means I'm monking or I'm just doing something like vanquishing where I just can't get to right now. I do get back to everybody's messages when I can and able to. I do not ignore anybody, alright? So I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much and have a good day.